Hey, what's up you guys? Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a strange one because as you can probably tell, I'm doing a live recording, which means I'm recording footage and mic stuff all at the same time. I'm moving my arms like a crazy person, like you can see me, but you can't. Now, as many of you guys know, I'm actually going to be flying out this weekend for a bit of a work project. However, I definitely wanted to get some info out on you for the new Rathuum event, and I wanted to show you some of the mods that were available. Now, at this moment, there are two mods that are just gone. They're like missing. We can't find them, and that would be Medi-Ray, which is supposed to be for the new core, and Execution Shells, which is for God knows what. We don't know what it is, but I do have the rest of them ranked up in here to show you guys, and I thought we could have a mini discussion, and hopefully I won't be absolutely terrible at recording live. So let's start off with a couple of the really interesting ones, and these two are actually the ones that I would want you guys to take a look at because they scale. And I was like, what? They scale? So the first one is Vulcan Blitz. This one is for the Jack attack, and killing enemies causes them to explode, dealing 300 damage, so that's a flat damage, and then plus 60% enemy max health in blast damage in a 6-meter radius. So what they're saying is, and I don't know if it's 60% of the existing enemies or 60% of the enemy you killed. However, since it's based off of the enemies that you're currently killing, it's a percentage base. That means that you're going to be doing scaling damage with the Jack attack. It is blast damage, which isn't all that great, but you know what? It's scaling. I'm just happy that they have a mod with scaling, and that's my cat playing with the tree in the background. Stop it, Mo! Stop it! Alright, so moving down the line, we're going to go to another mod that scales, which is Acid Shells. Now this is for the Sobek. We haven't really done anything with the Sobek. I haven't talked about the Sobek. I don't even think I have a video on the Sobek. But this one sounds really fucking cool because killing enemies causes them to explode, dealing 450 flat damage, which I believe is corrosive, plus 45% max enemy health damage. So yet another one, and that is a 15-meter radius. So that's fucking fantastic. I'm gonna have to take a look at the Sobek because, you know, I haven't like revisited it in ages. Wow, revisited it. This is why I don't do live recordings. That's Fusion Cores. I just knocked it down a little bit. I leveled up a few things. Next one is really interesting. Night Watch Napalm. Now, here's the thing. This seems more like a cool mod, and actually, these next ones I think are kind of like cool, fun mods. So this one, rockets disperse napalm, inflicting 30% damage over 6 seconds across 90% of the explosion area. Pair that with like Firestorm, which increases the area even bigger, and that's gonna create like a really cool effect. I've ranked it up. I honestly haven't played with it yet, but it's nice to see that they're playing around with the weapon mechanics and really using mods to change what the weapon does instead of just kind of like, here's a boost of damage, your magazine is bigger, yada yada yada. Harkanar Scope. God, I'm gonna fuck all this shit up. Increased combo duration by 12 seconds while aiming for sniper rifles. Kind of basic, but I mean, I guess it kind of goes with the body count and blood rush thing. And 12 seconds is actually a pretty decent chunk of time, so I don't know, maybe they're really trying to push sniper stuff. Rift Strike, this one is cool. This is a fun mod. This is a fun mod, okay? So this isn't actually like anything that I would think is useful, but I think it's really cool. So it works with the Twin Basslock, which is like a shitty status weapon, but you know, that's what that is. Your charge attacks will now allow you to teleport to enemies 25 meters away. That's fucking ridiculous. That's kind of amazing. I kind of love that. Again, messing with the mechanics of the weapon and kind of like changing what it can do. I love it. Next thing, Fomorian Accelerant. Another weapon I haven't touched on too much on my channel. You'll probably see DK messing around with this because I know he loves a Dragoon. But Flak now bounces up to 4 times and travels 60% faster. So it's a flight speed buff and a bouncy shrapnel buff. I don't really know how effective that is going to be in the long run. However, I must admit, it's pretty cool. Like, again, messing with the mechanics, I'm all about that. I don't think that this one's going to be all that great, but you know what? Why not have some fun with it, right? Electromagnetic shielding is another weird one. While blocking, redirect 30% of the damage taken by allies to yourself. Now, I mean, if you're like a Trinity or if you're a Naros, that could work out really, really, really well. Or a Valkyr. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. How helpful that's gonna be. Oh, this is for the Akin Brunt, by the way. Akin Brunt. It's a pretty fucking good weapon, which I also haven't covered. There's just a shit ton of weapons I just haven't covered, right? So I think it's gonna be really interesting. You're gonna have to give up a mod slot for it, which I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that, because of course there's the body count and blood rush combo, which kind of makes everything a little bit tight to be like, you know, just slotting in another mod. But you never know, it could be useful down the line. Last one is Hunter's Bonesaw, and the reason that I got to this last is because it's for the Ripkus, and I think that the Ripkus looks like crocodiles, and I don't really like crocodiles all that much, especially not crocodiles on my hand. But it increases damage by 90% and status chance up by 60% when attacking a prone enemy. So enemies on the ground, you know how you do that fist pound thing where you're like, you'll get 90% more damage and status chance, whatever, when attacking that enemy. I think that's pretty good. The damage on its own is pretty substantial. However, you're really gonna have to have some synergy with that. You're gonna have to like do a lot of jump attacks, knock a lot of enemies down. And I just completely blanked there because I have no clue what else I was gonna say. I was trying to come up with some sort of feasible build where you do a lot of knockdowns. Maybe Hydroid. Ooh, there you go, Hydroid. You can do that with this little P barrage thing. There you go. I just came up with the combo for you. You can thank me later. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to look at is the Furax Wraith. Now, if you take a look, they have like really pushed the critical chance on this weapon. It's pretty fucking awesome. The interesting thing that they've done on this weapon that they haven't done on many other weapons is that they've actually upped the channeling damage. I'm like, what? They want us to channel with this? They're pushing some channeling damage, some base channeling damage? That's really, really cool. So body count and blood rush is going to be fantastic because you've got the critical chance and the really big critical multiplier, and the attack speed has gone up. Everything else has pretty much stayed the same, but if you like the Furax, which I really genuinely honestly don't know anybody who does, if you like it, it's even better now. Again, I just blanked. I totally stopped right there. That was just a pause. I didn't even know if I'm going to edit that out. But I mean, if you think about it, if you get kind of bored with all of the normal crit mods, if you kind of feel like doing a different stance, and kind of playing around with that, those will be good for you. Alright, so that about does it for my whole very quick, very awkward, very last minute Rathuum update. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that it wasn't too weird for you and that it gave you some info that you might need. Again, we're still waiting on the mods for Medi-Ray and execution shells. I've been scouring the market, so far nothing. I'm almost kind of feeling like they might have gotten left out. I don't know. We'll see on the next patch. And that's pretty much it. You guys take care, have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye! You have to parkour everything, or like the general consensus is the easiest way to cheese it is with an Avara.
Oh, yeah. Then you could just make a rip line and... Who would do that? Who would do that? What?
Rebecca and Megan.
Oh! I mean, that's a completely legitimate
Dun
strategy.
dun dun!
That's what I meant to say.
Uninvited from TennoCon.